Chapter 7, Heat Transfer and Change of Phase. Section 7.1, Conduction. So heat's transferred in one of three different ways, and in the next three sections we're going to talk about those three different ways. The first way is what's known as conduction, and this is heat that's transferred by the collisions of molecules within two objects. So when you put two objects in contact with one another, the molecules physically hit one another. And if you have something that is hotter, those molecules are moving faster. They will hit the object whose molecules are moving slower and speed them up and cause the temperature to increase. Then you have heat transferred. A pot on the stove being heated by being in contact with either the flame from your burner or the metal on the electric burner that you have. Those are heated by conduction. If we have objects that heat up really quickly, we say those things are good conductors of heat. Metals, for example, are good conductors of heat. That's why we use them to cook in general. They heat up very quickly and they cool off very quickly. And that goes back to the low specific heat of metal, like we talked about in the last chapter. Poor conductors of heat, we call those insulators. These are things like glass, wool, wood, paper, cork. These objects are made up of molecules that hold onto their electrons really tightly. So because those electrons can't move very easily, they can't conduct the heat energy as easily. They can't bump into the next electron, which bumps into the next one, which bumps into the other object. Because of that, these things don't heat up as fast. For example, if you ever watch anyone walk across hot coals, generally those are wood coals. Wood coals don't transfer heat as quickly as something like charcoal or something like that you would use to cook. Air is also a very poor conductor of heat. This is why you can stick your hand inside of the oven and it doesn't burn you. But if you touch the metal on the oven, it'll burn you almost instantly, because the metal will conduct the heat to your hand very quickly. Now, insulation is not perfect. It doesn't prevent the flow of thermal energy, it just slows it down. Like an oven mitt, for example, and you get it wet. The oven mitt being wet will allow it to transfer heat more quickly, and you can't hold the pan as long. Also, your house is generally insulated against the temperature outside, but even in the summer and the winter, your house gets warm or cold depending on what the temperature is outside. Insulation doesn't stop thermal energy, it just slows it down.